on facing Western Kentucky?
I think that Western Kentucky is a good football team. I think that offensively, they present challenges for us, both from an offensive line standpoint. I think they got some size. They got a little bit of experience. There's a couple of places that they're lacking some experience, but all of them can move their feet, and so they're a little bit more athletic, good size, and present a little bit more of a problem for us than the first ball game of the season. There was some good offensive linemen at Georgia State, but if I were going to rank the two offensive lines, I'd have to at least right now give it to thumbs up to Western Kentucky. The quarterback situation for Western is man, guy does a great job of controlling the field. He has a great calmness about him during the play, great vision, and he helps those offensive linemen out even more because he knows where he's going with the ball a lot of times before the ball is ever snapped. So he goes through his progression reads before the ball is snapped and has a great understanding of when he needs to get rid of it quickly and when he can hang on to it for a while. So I think with those two factors, that makes it for any defense fairly difficult. But then you add in some receivers that they've got from transfer portal. And I'll go back again and say offensive line wise, they ended up getting transferred from to help them out a little bit as well. And but at the receiver position, they've helped themselves. So they can spread you out, they can throw the football, they can possess the ball with their passing game, and they have a nice gap scheme to counter that. So we got our hands full with these guys. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Did your performance against Georgia State, as far as defending the pass, give you a little more confidence heading into this week?
I think that we did some good things against Georgia State. I thought we played aggressively against some of the routes. There were some formations and routes that still dictated that we just stay on top and make sure we don't give up the easy one. So the Georgia State game, not giving up a cheap ball over our head was outstanding. Going through and making some of the passing game a little bit more difficult for them than maybe some of the teams that they played against last year was again that was rewarding for us. Going into this ball game, it's a totally different concept as far as the passing game goes, and a little bit more difficult to defend. So we're working on it and still trying to catch up with some of those concepts, and we still got a couple of days of practice left, so we'll see how we do.
And could you just offer a few words on Kwabena Bonsu and Andre Carter, how they developed? What do you foresee as their roles, and why did Andre have so much success last week with the sacks?
I think Andre had an awful lot of success because he's long, he's athletic, and he's hungry. He's a guy that came into camp wanting to get better every day. And not only does he want to, he works to get better every day. His work ethic is outstanding. There's nobody that works harder than him. There's some guys that work hard, but nobody will work harder than Andre Carter during the course of the practice and prepare himself, studying against the offensive lineman or the back or a tight end, as far as being able to be prepared for a ball game. So did it surprise me that he had success? No. Were we able to give him some matchups that we thought he might be successful in? Absolutely. And he was. And those successful pass rushes against Georgia State was a bit of the difference, I think, in our pass defense as well. I don't think the quarterback could pat it and hold it. Sometimes like maybe we've seen in the past. And then Bonnie was outstanding. I think Bonnie has come into camp and just hungry, motivation. He's motivated. He is working hard. He's gotten better in his pass rush. He's gotten better escaping on run blocks. He's stepped up and been a leader for us out there. His work ethic has been better this year than it was last year, and it shows. He just continues to get better and better. And as long as he's getting better, heck, our front is as well. So I like the fact that we can count on him to be a matchup problem for guys that we're playing against.
Hey, Coach, does Andre remind you of anybody that you've coached before, and what's it like having a talent like him at a service academy and his his attributes?
I think that Andre is a bit unique. Wide receiver in high school that long, great ball skills, and can run. He put on a lot of weight last year that hurt him a little bit as far as stamina. He'd still go hard as much as he could, but he just didn't have the stamina to play play after play after play. He took some of that weight off, and now he's a little bit quicker and more agile against some of the offensive linemen, and he's smarter from a standpoint of what he wants to do in a pass rush scenario. So I think he's got a little bit better plan as far as attacking guys. And when you get a guy that's smart, that preps really well, that is long, athletic, has hip flexibility, and can drop in coverage, there's not a lot of guys like that out there. So whether you got him at an academy or whether you got him at Notre Dame or wherever, those guys are pretty valuable. So he'll really like what he does. We like to continue to move him around a little bit and get him on best matchups. And as long as we do that, I think we have some success in our pass defense.
And the last couple.
Talking about your pass defense, how with an experienced secondary going up against this quarterback, how much confidence does it give you in play calling on Saturday?
I think as long as our guys are experienced and vocal and do a great job of getting each other in the correct defense. The checks that they make are clear and concise, and we're probably a little ahead of that at this point this year than we were last year because of just trying to install defenses. I think that we've got a lot of defenses that we're sort of sifting through to find exactly what our identity is back there. And we had that early on last year out of necessity. Right now we're still rotating a lot of different coverages that we're going through and seeing, hey, what are we best at? And the Georgia State game gave us a look at, hey, we're pretty good in this. We got some work to do in that. And so from a secondary standpoint, I love what they do. And I'm just sort of trying to catch up to them a little bit as far as what we do best.
Last one for Coach.
Can you talk about Chris Frey and his effort against Georgia State? He got the start, and it seemed like he was able to do some good things for you guys. Chris
did do some good things. Chris is a incredibly tough guy that is focused and is a good leader for our defensive unit. And he works hard and strong guy, and very, very hungry. I've used that word several times, and as long as you're using that word, that's a good thing. Those guys are motivated and they just want more and more. So when we go out to practice, we get better. And as long as we're getting better, that's a pretty good deal. Chris is one of those guys that improved so much from last year to this year. That's just been an incredibly a great surprise for me, and a guy that I feel not only can help us in our 2 deep, but he's also can play possibly any of the 3 defensive line positions for us. So that's great. Just that presents